Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here, and may I please say to all of you, Happy St. Patrick's Day. As you can see, I'm still in a healing stage. Things are fading. A green background with a green face isn't necessarily the most pleasing thing, but in the spirit of the holiday, I felt green was certainly appropriate. I even have my Shamrock shirt on for good luck today. So, with that said, what I want to talk to you about is something I do every year. I don't know if it's something all of you do, but I think it's sort of a traditional thing carried on from when I was a child growing up, and my mother would spring clean. And so every year, about this time, as spring comes closer, I began to assess uh, the house inside and outside and what my environment is. Because that makes a great deal of difference to me in how I go about each and every day, what my physical space is. This week, because it's been quite a gorgeous week, I have spent almost every single day working outside in the perennial beds, weeding and um, trimming and getting things ready to plant some new things I want to add to the garden this year. I'm trying to build a butterfly sanctuary in a part of the perennial garden, and that's going really, really well. I had some wonderful butterflies that come in last year, and I'm looking forward to attracting more caterpillars and giving them space and the right vegetation to develop into butterflies. It's all about change and making the right decisions and moving forward and creating your most helpful environment for getting to where you want to go. Not that you can relate that to anything except butterflies. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing for the butterflies. And I got to thinking maybe that's something I should be doing for me. So when I came back into the house, because we are having a rainy weekend, um, I began to look around the house and sort of take evaluation of the inside space and was there anything toxic in there? And I don't necessarily mean toxic in the sense of that might make me sick or other people sick, but toxic for my spirit, for my zest for life, for my positive attitude. Were there things that might unconsciously be bringing me down? And so I sort of took inventory and I found that I had some objects that are broken. They've served their usefulness and they really need to be discarded. Uh, and I also found I had a bunch of stuff that I never use. I don't know if you've ever opened your kitchen drawers and looked in there, but I don't know where this stuff comes from. I really think somebody comes into my house and puts this stuff in there because I don't remember buying it. But I think I probably did. And so I wandered on through the house and went to the closet in my bedroom and I began looking at what was in my closet with a critical eye, which I do periodically. And do you know? I know you'll find this hard to believe, but I found that there were clothes in there that I don't like. I just simply don't like them. Why I bought them, I have no idea, but I don't like them. Once, and I don't know why I didn't take them back. Be this to me, there they are. And every time I look at them, I think, I really don't like you. I don't think I'm ever going to wear you. And then I have a collection of clothes in there uh, that I don't uh, wear because they don't fit anymore. Uh, and that's a good thing right now because I have been making good progress with my weight loss journey. And why am I saving them? Am I saying to myself, don't get rid of those. You know you're going to regain all your weight. Well, what a bummer is that? Be positive, be daring, be bold. Say, I'm done with those now. Um, why not? By the time, I don't know about you, but through the years, my weight has changed. And I don't wear the old clothes when necessarily when I get to be the size that those clothes are. Maybe they've gone out of style, maybe my taste has changed, whatever, but they just keep adding on to the back of my closet. And so I did inventory there. And I then went into my office and oh my goodness, there are all kinds of old cards, old notes that have been there probably over 20 years. Why am I hanging on to all of them? Maybe I could part with some of them. There are receipts in there. And I went into the living room and oh my goodness, old magazines. Now, I do save my tops magazines, and I really don't want to part with them. But there are all kinds of other magazines that are in there that have dust on them because they've been sitting in the holder for quite some time unread. Read them once, probably I'm not going to read them again. Why do I still have them gathering dust bunnies in there? I went back into the bedroom a little bit later on after I had a cup of coffee and did a shoe inventory. Do you know there's shoes in there that hurt my feet? Amazing. I'm not going to wear those shoes. They hurt my feet. Why am I keeping them? Make space on the rack. I don't need them. I have 2 feet. How many shoes do I need? And I know a lot of us love cute little shoes, but are the cute little shoes really what we need to be wearing at certain points in times? I know I learned my lesson with this faceplant I did about the importance of good fitting shoes because that is what caused this accident to happen, where the footwear I chose to be wearing at that moment in time. I needed something that stayed on my foot and was sturdy. And that certainly was not what my clogs were providing for me. Uh, then I had a bunch of stuff throughout the house in other closets on walls that have probably been decorating the walls for, I was going to say a century, but I'm not really that old. But anyway, uh, they called from the past and they were faded. They were tattered. Uh, the memories are still there that they represent, but it needs a refresh. You know, at the very minimum, the things needed to be taken down, cleaned, but and put back to bring me the pleasure they used to bring. And some of them are just faded beyond the point of being as memorable as they used to be. Um, I love stained glass, but even went through the stained glass that I have hanging and did an inventory there because through the years things have fallen off and have broken and cracked and I've tried to reglue some and resolder some, but some of it just needs to uh, be retired. It served its purpose. It gave me great pleasure for many, many years, but now is the time to refresh and move on. Um, and then I found a lot of just generally broken and unused things. Some were small appliances that I just knew were going to save me all kinds of time and money. And I used them once and thought, oh, fuss and bother. I don't want to do that every single time. And in other rooms, I found things that I had likewise used for a long time and they have become unusable at this point in time. Well, why am I saving this stuff? It does not create a peaceful, helpful, nurturing environment to have all this. And last but not least, I looked at some of my plants. Some of them need to go away. I've nursed them as much as I can. They have given me great joy and pleasure through the years, but they're done. And they're telling me, we're done. Quit trying. Let it go. It's all right. Remember the pleasure I gave you, and let's move on here. Maybe you can find a seedling or a healthy starter that you can start a new plant with, Barb. You know, think future, think present moment. Don't keep hanging on to all the stuff of your past because it does not help you necessarily to move forward. The lessons learned will, but perhaps the stuff itself may bring up how hard you tried and had to let go of an idea that just didn't really work. Uh, and as I'm going through all the places around the house and looking, I say to myself three questions. Why am I saving this? What is the reason? Is it a positive reason? Uh, think about it before you make the decision. Uh, how will it make me feel now? You know how it made you feel in the past, but is bringing you the same joy and pleasure and comfort, whatever, that it did in the past? How will I feel if I let it go? I won't suddenly erase every memory of it. I'll still have all those. So I began making a plan because after all, it's spring, and my mother always said it's spring cleaning time. And I decided what I was going to do is do just sort of a general cleaning, nothing great, nothing, intense, nothing really terribly stressful, but I was going to get some boxes out to organize some things and start in one room and begin and do it at my own pace. I don't like to have the whole house torn up all at once. I'd rather do it a room at a time and keep the rest of the house fairly well in order. So that's what I've been doing this weekend and sometimes I just do a drawer. I'll be in a room and I'll think, oh, well, I'm in the mood here. Let's reorganize this drawer. And what I do is basically separate and classify things. Uh, I have a trash bag. I have a recycling bag. I have an, I'm not sure, bag. I have things that I can gift, things I can donate, and things I can sell. And I sort them out, and then I have been moving them as I do it into my garage. And I'm so grateful I have garage space in which to do this. My trash pickup is every Monday, so I sort of have a deadline of today to get all these things set out. So that was a nice impetus over the weekend when the weather was a little bit uh, bad outside and I had time inside to begin the process. And I think cleaning your place also can lift your spirits in ways that you don't even realize. Uh, I did do some rearranging, and it sounds weird to say this, but with relationship to noise. Um, because some environments I like to be sort of quiet and serene, like my bedroom, and some environments I like to be more well lit and more vibrant and stuff, and some I need to be sort of serene, depending on what I'm doing in the space at the given time. And so as I was in each room, I thought, well, do I need to make any environmental changes in the room to make it more comfortable? You know, I like to try to avoid extreme noises, and there's one part of the house where I get traffic noise, and so I was looking at what I could do in that area of the house to rearrange it in a way that would sort of buffer the sound. You know, putting more fabric in there to sort of buffer the noise a little bit was one thought I had. And then strong lights coming in, like do I have a window that really gets hit by the afternoon sun or the morning sun or whatever? And is there something I could do about that? Um, Less saturated colors, do I like more calm, quiet colors, or do I like big, bright, vibrant colors uh, in different rooms? And what can I do just with what I have up on the walls and uh, on the furniture to help that environment more reflect the spirit of the place that I am spending time in? And even the smell of the room can be a turn on or a turn off. I have learned through the years that I launder things, fabrics in particular, that I put on myself or on my bedding or whatever, because a lot of times they have chemical odors that from sizings and whatever. And so I don't like that smell permeating the room. So do I have things that need a good laundry? Because dust has an odor, as you all know. And so I was doing things like that. And then was looking at things I had on the walls and pictures I had up. And I thought, do I need to make some changes here? Are these recalling memories that are sad? Or are they recalling happy memories? You know, how you feel about something very often is reflected, is reflecting where you are in your grief process. And you may choose to change some of the things you have on display until you're at a different place in your own spiritual journey. And so I did that. And then I looked around and tried to identify projects that I was going to do but never seem to get the time for them. Do they sort of nag at you when you walk through a room and you say, oh, well, there that thing is. I started that project 3 years ago and set it down and haven't picked it up since. And so I'm looking at all those things because they will, you know, in my mind space, they take up room. They remind me that I have not finished, that I had left something in mid-process and that I need to go back to it. And just basically looking at the inside of the house to cultivate a more positive energy where I spend most of my time. Is that the energy I want this space to have? Uh, what I have noticed, and this is just this weekend, I notice it every year when I go through the process, uh, and it's one of the reasons, and I'm not a clean freak by any chance. I used to laugh and tell people, just ignore the dust. It's my relatives visiting, and I don't want to disturb them because I like having them here. So that gives you an idea. At any rate, as I was going around the house and doing some light cleaning and making some plans for perhaps more intense cleaning later on, I noticed certain things. Uh, my spirit lifted for one. It really improved my mood just to make little tiny changes like rearranging a cluttered drawer in my kitchen. I will tell you, I cannot count the number of times I looked at my junk drawer in the kitchen after I cleaned it out. I just would open it and smile and say, boy, you're looking good. My. And I took two plastic bags of junk out of that drawer. Why it was in there, I had no clue, but it's not in there now. And I can actually find things like rubber bands and safety pins and band-aids, just little things that you often keep in the kitchen because you have kids around or yourself and you need something quick. And mine always seems to end up in the junk drawer. I noticed that even my relationships get better. Pick up the phone when the phone rings, or when Zoom calls me, or I see somebody out on the street when I'm walking. You know, I'm much more open and positive and friendly because my house is beginning to sparkle, and I like that. I even feel healthier. I've got a bounce in my step. I look at things in a different, more creative way as this clutter that has been pulling me down has gradually been removed or rearranged or repurposed or whatever. Uh, I even think better for some reason because decluttering the space helps me declutter my mind. So today, as you uh, look around your house, watch for changes you can make in your physical environment that may make a difference to how you feel within your own headspace. And think about doing just a few small things. As we clean out our physical house, we also place order in our minds and our hearts without even realizing it. Um, I have found that it really helps to detach from material things that are just filling up the space. Um, there are so many things that when you look around, you probably haven't even noticed, but stuff does wear out, and stuff does sometimes just need to be discarded. It's lived its useful life, and you treasure the memories it brought you, and you discard it and replace it with something else. Or let the space be open for a while to allow new things to come to you. It's a certain detachment uh, that is a good, healthy thing to aim for so that you remember that it's not the thing, it is the memory associated with the thing or the lesson learned with the thing that is the real treasure there. I hope, because this is what is happening to me, that you'll see how you're slowly able to do the same with more challenging situations as they come up in your life, because lessons learned in one place can be translated to other situations in other times. And lessons learned need to be shared throughout the life you're living in all areas of your life in order to continue our journey together with joy and happiness and a little luck of the Irish as we go along. I hope you have a great day with clearing out anything in your environment that you may feel is not as healthy and positive as it can be, and uh, freeing yourself from such toxic in situations, materials, whatever, I think will brighten your day and help you move forward in the most positive of all ways. So go out there, put a smile on your face, and celebrate the beautiful person you are. I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye bye.